Hello everyone and welcome to this Mr. Robot Episode 2 review. Now, in terms of this episode, I really enjoyed this episode, especially perhaps the first 7-10 minutes of it, before essentially the opening credits, when you're getting Elliot's little montage of him starting out in E-Corp, and he was, framing... Well, not framing, he was hacking his bosses who basically weren't listening to him, and then making his way up the food chain and trying to fix problems that he essentially started, back in Season 1. And I thought it was, very light-hearted, and I had a good chuckle with the UPS driver telling him, "Oh, we're going to New York." "Nope, you're going to New Dakota." And it was just going round and round in circles, and I thought that was a pretty damn funny scene. I don't know if it's funny for everyone, but I found it particularly amusing. Apologies, my voice is a bit poor at the moment, come down with a bit of some illness. So, in terms of the rest of the episode, obviously it was far more focused on Elliot this week than perhaps last week. We still had, there was little bits and pieces elsewhere, which I was kind of surprised with, especially with Tyrell's wife, Joanna. Her getting, she went on that talk show, which has been sort of in the background of many an episode of Mr. Robot. So to see her pop up in that was kind of surprising. I wasn't sure what they were going to do with her character, and evidently it was to get Tyrell essentially back on the board and essentially free of charges, and then kill her off. I mean, yeah, I was surprised. I don't know if it was something in pre-season that people already knew that she wasn't going to be a part of much more, but that was quite surprising. I was thinking, what are you going to do with this? I was thinking, who was tailing in the car? And it turned out it was like the jilted lover, essentially. But then, I was thinking, he is alive. Oh, they must have both survived. Then, next scene, skull being cracked open. It was, that was a bit of a surprise. We didn't see too much of Angela this week. Basically the only thing we see of her this week is in the opening montage, and she basically gives a little smile at Elliot, and she carries on her day. Some other strong moments I thought was the scene with the therapist, where Elliot essentially switches body. Well, Mr. Robot Company essentially resurfaces and takes over for a short period, which I thought was very nice performance from Christian Slater. I know it comes in an earlier scene with Daphne, but I think that was a pretty powerful scene. I mean, obviously we get bits and pieces with essentially Daphne. She's getting confronted with the FBI, what she knows, and essentially she tries to she does sort of put she puts like some sort of tracker on Elliot's computer, which by the end, the FBI think they've figured him out. It turns out Elliot has, of course, figured out what's going on. But obviously, you see, before he starts the computer, he seems to unplug something, replug it, and start again. So, I suppose it was kind of obvious there. But, I gotta say, I did really enjoy this episode. I suppose, in terms of overall plot, I mean, aside, obviously, with the Dark Army, and I know the CEO, Philip Gregor, I think that's his name. There was a little bit of that. Obviously, that's almost like the bigger, almost like world economics going on. It was like, obviously it was a smallish scene, but would probably have a bigger role as we go on. Because essentially, it's going to counterparts of Elliot essentially fighting against his alternate persona to try and stop Stage 2, and Stage 2 would essentially take out E-Corp's E-Coin mission. But finishing off, I would say that this episode was probably one of my more enjoyable episodes that I've seen for a while. I'm looking forward to seeing the next episode now. So, current plans, obviously we'll see. We should be doing a Stranger Things preview / Season 1 reaction. I'm not exactly sure when that'll be up because it's scheduling conflict, but we should be starting Walking Dead coverage as well, Star Trek, and Lucifer, and again Mr. Robot. So if you enjoyed this coverage, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.